Welcome to the Virgo Verdict. It's your man Will B, co-host Sherrod Cohen, and my girl Tracy Ricks. Yo, we down here about to do this thing on here on this podcast. If you guys want to jump on in and say what's up, you want to like, subscribe, and share. Hey, let's go into this Virgo Verdict. Yo, Rod, what's the topic for today, my man?
Today, man, we're going to lead it off with the proximity or problem.
Mm,
Proximity or problem. And
Most of
this
the
is,
time, it's a problem.
mm.
and then it's when the man of the side chick dies, does she have a right to be at the funeral, especially if they have kids? And I know Tracy has a subtopic to this.
So
Yeah.
wait. The question was the side chick or the side guy
The,
passes.
the
What was it
when the
again?
man of the side chick. So
The
he's
man
in
of the
another
side chick.
relationship. But when he dies,
Yeah. So,
Okay.
does she have a right to be at the funeral with the kids, especially if she got kids?
If they have children together.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I say yeah, but go ahead,
yeah.
Miss Lady. Ladies first.
um, oh, y'all want my verdict? Okay. Absolutely, yes. She can go where the fuck she want to go. She can go to the funeral, the repast, all of that. So, how can I put this? She had already been in a relationship with the man. You can't stop this woman. You can't stop side chicks. Side chicks are unstoppable. So if you can't stop the side chick from sleeping with your husband, you can't stop the side chick from coming to the husband's funeral. Now, unless you boss up and post her picture on the church or the funeral home door and got security that will deny her entry, there is nothing you can do about the side chick living her damn life, coming to pay her respects to her man. Because you best believe in her mind, your man was her man. And he was to a certain degree. And just because he dies, them feelings don't cut off. It don't stop the fact that they had a relationship for however long, whether or not the relationship was sanctioned by others or not. The side chick is, can, and will do what the fuck the side chick wants to do, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I feel like, yeah, the side chick had a relationship. They had a intimate, physical, emotional connection with one another, and just like when my friend dies, my auntie dies, my brother dies, I'm gonna go to the funeral and pay my respects. Now, we don't believe in being a side chick. But if I happen to slip up and become the side chick, I'm not going to the funeral because I'm the side chick. Ain't nobody supposed to know about me. I can pay my respects at the crib. But I'm just talking about in general. We not talking about me. The question is, does she have the right? Absolutely, yes, she has the right to come to the funeral. Now, whether or not she want to get up there and speak on it or speak on the man, you know how they have the opportunity. Anybody want to say something? You can speak for 2 minutes, and if she get up there and she speak for 2 minutes, she runs the possibility of getting jumped on at the funeral. That's a decision and a choice she gonna have to make because there's consequences to every action. I'm not saying I'm not saying yeah, side chicks unite, go up in the funeral. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is, does she have a right? Yes. If she had a relationship with this person and she would like to pay her last respects and see him off to his final resting place, I feel like yes, anybody who has a relationship with a person who dies has the right to celebrate their life at the funeral. That's my
And I
verdict.
agree with you, my sister. I was going to say yes as well. The only thing I would say was is that if that side chick does come and pay her respects, that she remains respectful because one, not
Absolutely.
many people know about her, so it all
Hmm.
depends on the relationship that they had and how that person was with them and how they came about. So if they, because in funerals, everybody come to pay homage to whoever it was. You don't know all the friends that that person may have had. He could
Right.
just be a friend. Now, if they
Right.
have siblings with, if she had children, now they're siblings, she has the option to say, "Hey, I am XYZ. These are his children. I would like to introduce them to their siblings. I
Mm-hmm.
know you didn't know about this. You know, you have the opportunity. They have the opportunity to maybe be adult about it, but
Mm-hmm.
not everybody can be adult about it because people's feelings are high at that moment. So that
Mm-hmm.
wife may be on edge and like, why is this chick even here? You know what I'm saying? What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
These are his children. You know what I'm saying? It's like what? But
But you
that's where
make
the
a good
adult
point
that's where the
because
adultness has to
Will,
come in.
you make a good point. Okay,
Come on, talk to me,
we got to
sister.
get over the fact that there was an adulterous affair.
Right,
But as a result of the adulterous affair, some kids are involved.
right.
And you have children with your wife. The deceased man has children with his wife. I think it's absolutely important for siblings to know each other,
There you go.
especially if they're like in the same age range, because you don't want your kids
Dating
who
one
have
another.
siblings dating their
There
siblings.
you
They
go.
need to know.
Yeah,
Additionally, what if life happens. What if your child needs a some type of medical something
right.
and their sibling from the side chick can provide it? That's an asset to you. Now, you don't have to have a relationship with the side chick. I
There
know
you
that's a
go.
soft, that's a tricky thing. And you have to be very mature, very adult to be able to navigate that kind of situation. But for the sake of the children, first of all, knowing their family, their siblings are their family. Knowing their family is important. Knowing your family history is important. Having an understanding of humanity and what happens between human beings is important because now you're gonna have to have a conversation with your kids about shit, real life shit. Daddy stepped out on mama, and now as a result, you got some siblings and shit like this happens.
Hmm.
Formulate your opinion of your father the way that you will. But this is real life.
This is
And
life.
shit
Yes,
like this
ma'am.
happens in real life. And here
Absolutely.
go your siblings. Establish a relationship or not with them. But I think it's the parents' responsibility to introduce. If they mesh, great. But don't intentionally keep the siblings separated.
There you go. And that's why I said it had to be a respect factor because one, they didn't know about the side person anyway. So if that person comes in and she has the adultness of her and say, "Hey, how you doing? I'm XYZ. I am a friend of your husband. These are his children." It's gonna cause it's friction, but let's be adult about it. You know, can we be adult enough and say, "Hey, the children have nothing to do with this. What happened was
Absolutely.
between you and that man. Let's be grown and say, hey, let's raise these kids accordingly so they know who they are." And that's all I would say. But yes, they do have a right to come. It all depends on how they come.
If they ain't coming with no problem, if they're not coming with any problems,
Yeah, because
even
nobody
if they
ever
are
know.
coming with problems, I mean, you're going to have to solve it
Yeah,
because they're coming.
yeah.
Sherrod, what you think? You
I
mighty
believe you
quiet
got.
over there.
I no, I don't think she has a right to shit because you ain't nobody really. The dude dead.
Damn,
So, and
damn,
and what I'm saying is you was a secret, remain a secret, and
damn.
I don't have confidence in people in their ability to control their emotions, especially at something like this, because you're gonna have that one. Either it's gonna be whoever the main chick was at the time or somebody in their family, they gonna clock off. You know what I'm saying? So you stepping your ass into this arena and saying, hey, by the way, I got kids with your dude. Now you know how people act when a motherfucker alive. So I just think that it'd be best she kept her ass away and probably tried to do an introduction some other where place or at some other time because this right here, you know how black people are at the goddamn funerals, man. It's like, oh
They gonna cut
no,
up.
yeah.
So,
So
Sherrod, what if she didn't have kids, though? What if
Right,
she didn't have kids and she
yeah, I
slid in,
mean,
sat in the back row?
right, right.
I mean, as long
You
as you
know,
don't introduce yourself as, I used
Right.
to fuck your man. I mean, so
yeah,
yeah,
That's what I was saying.
because
Yeah.
it's over. You know,
Yeah.
the man is dead, so I don't feel like there's any need to introduce yourself as
Right.
his
Exactly.
girlfriend or whomever you were, because it's over. That was in the
Right.
past. He's
Nothing
gone
nothing
now.
needs to be said on that point. If you
Nothing
just
needs to be
slide in,
said.
pay your respects, give your kiss
Absolutely.
on woo woo woo, say, hey, deuces, I appreciate what we had. I love you and I'm out. You know, no harm, no
Yep.
foul because
right.
nobody knew anyway. You feel
Nobody knew
me?
anyway.
That
But don't
Exactly.
I wouldn't bring the kids to that environment though, because it's volatile, and it can become real bad real quick.
oh
So
yeah,
and
yeah.
and
You definitely don't bring the
so
children.
if I'm the side dude and I know I done popped the baby in, but we that's our little secret, I ain't popping up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, cause let's be honest, that side piece thing works both ways. So if she die, I'll just be sitting in the back like I'm gonna miss that. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure, for
That
sure,
was
for
some that
sure.
So
was some
that's
good kitty right there.
interesting. That's an interesting point because it could be different when there's a side dude. So what then happens? You the side dude. You get the lady pregnant. She
Right.
has the baby. She's still in a relationship with her husband. The husband doesn't know that the baby is not his, but you know that the baby is yours. What do you do? Like the side dude, do you continue to
Leave
be a
it
ghost?
alone. You leave it as
Leave it
thus
alone?
it is. We know the situation. You just go and bid your hellos and goodbyes to the person you got knocked up that you knocked up, and don't say nothing because it's gonna just like he said, it's gonna mess with that man's head already. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just destroy that man's livelihood because you all of a sudden come in and say, "Yo, you know I'm the father of your child." Like what?
But what about the child though?
The
Does
child
the
got a
child
daddy.
not have a right to know who their biological father is?
When dad is already raising that child and it was told that he's the father, let it be until he gets of age and he wants to. If dad find out that, hey, I found out that you're not mine, now you're of age, let me break this down. See, your mama stepped out, blah blah blah. I felt you were old enough to understand this. That's the conversation you will have with your child when he turns a certain age or she turns a certain age. But other than that, I'm dad. Just leave it be.
I don't know. I don't know, y'all, because I have an affinity for. Because, Will, let me catch you up. I just found out that my daddy wasn't my daddy when I turned 50. Um, and that's information that I wish I had known when I was a child. It's important. It was important information that I should have known as a child. My father, my biological father, died when I was a grown up. So he was alive during my whole entire childhood. And he knew that he was my daddy.
Mm,
And I met the man many, many times. I just
mm,
didn't know he was my daddy.
right.
What's ironic about that is the man who was raising me as my father, I didn't like him and he was a maniac. And so there were times, many times, when I wished I had another father. And I did. And I needed the benefit of that relationship then. So for me, it's a touchy subject because I feel like, number one, people are entitled to know who their biological parents are. I think that they should be told at the moment, at the point in which they can understand that. So yeah, at 3 years old, I'm not going to tell a kid
Hmm.
because the kid does not have the mental or
Right.
emotional capacity to understand that. But I do also feel like when they can understand what is happening, that they should be told for so many reasons. So
That's
with
why I say
regard
that.
to this scenario, I
Okay.
do feel like it, first of all, it depends on the type of people who are involved. So if the side dude, let's say the side dude is a stand-up guy, he just got caught up in a relationship with your wife.
Hmm.
Your wife gets pregnant, she has the baby, doesn't tell her husband that it's not his. But the side dude knows that it is his. For me, I really feel like the side dude need to have a conversation with the husband at some point. Look, because look, spots get blown up all the time. Yeah, the situation is fucked up. Yeah, he gonna be fucked up in the head. It's a casualty of war,
Now, my
like for
question to
real.
you, sister, is that not a conversation he should be having with the mother who had the child that did not tell her husband, saying, "Hey, we need to have this conversation to let your child know that I am the biological father, and we need to sit down as the three and maybe let your husband know it's gonna blow up
Hey,
your
but
household."
she
But
dead though.
oh yeah, he did. That's right.
Absolutely,
But
but she
my
did.
bad, my
So
bad. You right. But you right. We're right. But that's the conversation you're supposed to have with the mother. Okay,
I
like you said,
agree.
you missed out and waited. They waited till you was 50 almost. Like I said, at a certain age, you would have to tell that child, "Hey, baby, listen. I know it seemed weird with your dad that's been here because there's a reason you couldn't really relate to him. Let me explain to you why. You're
Hmm.
16 now. I think you can understand this now, Tracy. But your dad that's been living with us, that's called your dad, is not really your dad, baby. I slipped up, stepped out, whoop de whoop. Your father name is XYZ. You've seen him. He's my friend. You've seen he's played cards with us. That's your dad.
Hmm.
That's what would have happened if I was the guy in this situation with a mom or whatever the case may be. I would tell my child, listen, hey, this is why you can't connect. You know, that reason you can't connect is because he's not yours.
Not your dad.
Oh, it
And
makes sense now. You know, it'll start putting that that thing together for you, if that makes sense.
it does. And for me at 16, if my biological father or my mother had come to me and said that at 16, I would have welcomed that. I would have. And what's also tripped out about my situation is the man who raised me, I was his favorite. Like when I was little, I was his favorite out of all my siblings. We used to hang, like that was my homeboy for real. But at some point, some kind of psychosis developed, and it ruined our family. It really, really did. But he was good to me for a part, for like a large part of my childhood. He was good to me. I could get anything out of him if I wanted it at a to a point.
Mhm.
But then as years progressed and his his mental state declined, that's when he became intolerable to me. That's when I was like, okay, this nigga is crazy as fuck and I can't stand it, you know? So it would have been right at the time when I was in my teenage years, when I needed a father most. So if my mother has said, okay, this is your real daddy, Russell is your real daddy, I had already known Russell. So it wouldn't have been, I would have been shocked, like, Russell, my daddy? But I would have welcomed that. So, and people be talking about, oh, children are so resilient. I would like to believe that, but children grow into adults who need therapy. We be talking about children are so fucking resilient. How resilient are they if they growing into adults who need fucking therapy? They not handling shit properly as a kid. Kids can only handle so much. And we put so much on children. So if they had done what morally they should have done for our family, I wouldn't have needed fucking therapy as an adult. That's why I'm feeling like address it when it needs to be addressed. Okay, you made a mistake. Okay, you cheated. Let's get over that part. I don't have nothing to do with that. I'm the result of that. But so that I can be a viable adult, tell me the fucking truth. Tell kids the truth is my thing. Sherrod, what you got?
Gavel down. That her verse.
No, I mean,
That
no,
gavel
no.
has
Kids at
hit.
some point need to know the truth. They do. But I just don't think the funeral is the best place to bring this
It's
truth out,
not.
It's
because
not.
It is
that
not.
Not at
those
all.
emotions will be running high at that point.
Baby.
So
Hmm.
you're right. kids do need to know who the real father is, the real mother is, and then as a stand-up dude, you might go to the husband after she passed and say, you know what, I think we need to have a talk, my man, because
Yeah.
he or she may not be yours. Because I've seen too many episodes of this on Judge Link, you know, in paternity court. The young lady was 30-something years old. Come to find out, the man that was raising her ain't her father.
Mm-hmm.
It's the dude that's always been around.
Mm-hmm.
And the old boy said, he said, man, I ain't got nothing against you. This is something my wife did. You know, I don't have any animosity towards you. You can see, but see, now you fucked over a child, but the one thing we always neglect to look at is how this man over here is feeling now. I done raised a child all my life and I'm fucked up. But
And I'm
you know,
fucked
some men
up.
do break down, but the majority of them just take that pain and just suppress it, which is worse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is
You know what I'm
worse.
saying? So, you know, you're right. Children need to know. I just don't think a funeral is the right place for you to show your ass up.
It is not. It
It
is
is
not.
not at
Paying
all.
your respects is one thing. Do it in silence. Do it in stealth, like you was
Right.
doing your relationship.
Right.
Sit,
Exactly.
come in quietly, sit in the back row,
Sit your ass
shed
down.
your tears, say your goodbyes, and go.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a person who comes to a funeral with all of that extra shit is dramatic, and they come in for a problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
They
And
want the attention.
nobody needs that at that time.
Right.
Wait till another time, a more convenient time to do that. So
Yep.
that's my verdict, y'all.
I agree. It's my verdict.
I agree.